guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a more thorough update on things. I know my last update was like really short, and it so happened to be of me in the hospital. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like give you guys a rundown of things of what happened basically. So as you guys can see, I'm back home, thank goodness. So I was only in the hospital for a little bit over 24 hours. So let's see. Wednesday, 5 a.m. I woke up in the morning because I felt something weird, and I went to the restroom, and sure enough, I was bleeding. It was a pretty significant amount of blood. And any blood is scary when you have placenta previa, because with placenta previa comes the risk of like hemorrhaging, you know? So, I freaked the fuck out. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I was freaking out. I grabbed my phone and I texted my husband. He had probably just gotten to work. I don't know. I think it was like 5:15 in the morning, and he went in, a little bit before 5 that morning. So I texted him and I was like, babe, I'm bleeding. And I just like, I don't know, within like 2 seconds, I just grabbed my phone again, and then I like call him. And he's like, oh my god, like, is it a lot? And I'm like, yes, you need to get here like now, you know? So I got dressed super fast, just put my hair up, and he got here within like less than 10 minutes. And the girls, I felt so bad. My girls were like obviously still asleep, so we grabbed the girls and we just rushed to the hospital. The hospital is really close to me, so it's, I want to say like maybe within, I feel like everything is like within 10 minutes of like where I live, so it's about like 10 minutes from where I live, maybe 12, 13 the most. So we get there, and I was like pretty much, I wasn't like admitted right away, but I was sent to like the triage room right away. And oops, sorry. I was sent to triage right away, and just started talking to the nurse, and she just, you know, checked the amount of blood that I had, and she put me on, she drew some labs, so she put the little IV needle ready for me. I wasn't set up on IV just yet, but she went ahead and put it on right away. It's something that they have to do just in case like your bleeding gets worse or it doesn't stop, you know, just in case of an emergency. So I called my mom and I asked her to meet us at the hospital to pick up my kids. So she got there like maybe within 5 minutes of us being there. So she was able to take my girls, and my husband stayed there with me. Things got really scary like right away. So I mentioned to you guys I had placenta previa when I was pregnant with my daughter Daisy, my youngest daughter. I want to say with that, it was more like ignorance is bliss type of thing. Like, I had Googled placenta previa, and I knew like the risk that came with it, but I want to say that because the doctor that I had at the time didn't really, I guess, emphasize like the severity of it, I myself was just like, I don't know, like it was kind of scary when I would bleed, but it was kind of routine at the same time. Like, I would go to the hospital, I'd stay there until I went 24 hours without bleeding, and they'd be like, okay, go home. I'd go see my doctor, and he's like, okay, like, you're good, you know, just if you bleed again, go to the hospital. I bled so many times with my last pregnancy. With Daisy, I don't know. I knew placenta previa was like scary and it was high risk, but I don't think that I was as aware as I am right now with this pregnancy. So when I got to the hospital, and I was in the triage room with the nurse, the doctor that was on call came in to see me. She started explaining to me how at 23 weeks, excuse my dog barking in the background, he barks at like everything, rocks, sticks, anything. So she started explaining to me how at 23 weeks, basically the baby is like right borderline where he would be able to survive, more than likely survive with a lot of help if he was to be born. And I'm like, what? Like, why are you telling me this? Like, I'm not having my baby today. Like, no, I'm 23 weeks pregnant. What are you talking about? So, I feel like here, because I delivered my baby in California, so I'm in a completely different state, completely different hospital, completely different staff. So the way that they're treating this pregnancy is completely different from the way that my pregnancy was treated prior to this. So they are basically preparing me, I'd like to think, for worst case scenarios, because they want to be as prepared as possible. They don't want, because it's really like the unexpected that really turns into bad things. I feel like when you can plan for the unexpected, you're a little bit more prepared, and things tend to go a lot better. So that's pretty much how they're handling my pregnancy here. They're preparing for plan A, B, and C, basically, and I am so grateful for that. So I'm basically given, all these scenarios. They're explaining to me in detail, excuse me, how things would go down, if I were to deliver the baby. They actually called the neonatologist from the NICU up to my room once I was admitted to have him talk to me, and he was so amazing. He went week by week. Like, if you were to deliver your baby today, this is what would happen. This is what we would have to do to keep him alive, to keep him growing, up to week 32. He was so amazing, so detailed. He had so much information, and he delivered it to me just, I don't know, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, he was so kind about it. It wasn't just like, I'm a doctor, this is just, and even though, a lot of it was just like statistics, but it was like, he just he like personalized it somewhat, to make me feel like, this is what we would do for your baby. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense, but he was amazing. I've dealt with a lot of doctors, especially because I've worked in a hospital before, so I know that there's doctors who are just there to just be doctors, what they went to school for, what they trained for, and then there's doctors who actually put all of themselves to like make sure that you feel like you are cared for, that you matter, and he was one of them. Everybody in that hospital was amazing. So I feel like because, and then not only that, but like the specialist that I'm seeing, her referring me to a higher specialist just in case, my pregnancy gets to be super high risk, just all of the measures that they're taking to assure that we have a plan for absolutely every scenario makes me feel so at peace and so well cared for. I'm so grateful for all of the doctors that are literally looking after me and my baby. This week I have such a busy week. I had a chiropractor appointment yesterday on Monday, just because I know that being unaligned and stuff like that it just unbalances your body completely. And I felt like I was very unaligned after leaving the hospital. So I went in, and sure enough, I was like a whole half an inch like unaligned. And it felt so amazing after I got my back cracked, and I don't know, it was wonderful. And then today I have an acupuncture session, which is something I clearly look forward to every single time. Tomorrow is my big appointment with the specialist up in Portland. I have yet to meet them. This is going to be my first time. I'm very excited to go and just kind of get their opinion on things, because they're the best of the best north of San Francisco. So I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to go and meet with them and just kind of set up a plan in case, worst comes to worst. So yeah, I have my appointment with them tomorrow. I'll try and vlog that, because, going up to Portland is always fun. Thursday, I believe, is the only day that I don't have any kind of appointment, and then Friday I'm back to go see my acupuncturist for another session. So very, very busy week. I'm doing everything in my power. Like, despite the bleeding and despite being hospitalized, I'm still very optimistic nonetheless. Like, I'm still going to continue to do everything in my power to keep myself healthy, keep myself strong, not only in my body but in my mind, I feel like that it's so important to do that. I was so scared. I'm human. I was definitely scared. Seeing the blood was just like, what, it was just, it was, it was devastating. You know, because I just was like, it brought me back to like, shit, like here we go again, hospital stays, like, you know, it wasn't something that I was looking forward to experiencing, but you know, it's with placenta previa, it's not if you're gonna bleed, it's more like when you're gonna bleed. So I mean, I knew I had it coming, but you know, whatever, it's fine. It's not gonna determine like, you know, my attitude. Just because I bled and I went to the hospital doesn't mean that I'm gonna be like, oh my god, you know, like there goes my pregnancy, like everything's gonna go bad from now on. Like, no, I have to keep a positive mind. So I have 2 other appointments later on this month. I have my 26-week checkup with my regular OBGYN. Oh my god, my dog is so annoying right now. So annoying. And then I have my ultrasound with the specialist here on the 22nd, so the day after that. So very busy, good kind of busy. I will go to as many doctor's appointments as I need to because I know that all they're doing is just making sure that baby and I are doing fine. They're keeping track of his growth, and as far as right now, none of this has affected him, thank God. I had 2 ultrasounds at the hospital, and he's growing perfectly fine, which is a blessing because anytime you have some sort of an issue with your placenta, there is the risk of your baby having growth restrictions because the placenta is where your baby gets all its nutrients and everything from. So luckily it has not affected him in any way. He's growing exactly the like right on track. So I'm so incredibly grateful for that because there's already so much going on. Like, geez, yeah, a lot going on. His heart rate was strong. He didn't seem to be under any kind of stress. He was just being him, doing flips, kicking, you know. It's really reassuring, and I'm so grateful that he is unbothered and just perfectly fine. So I am officially 6 months pregnant. I'm 24 weeks today. I am so happy to say that. Let's see what else. Oh, let me show you guys. I have a little... This is the latest ultrasound of my little bub. He's getting so big. So it's like his little profile picture. This is his little face and his little nose and his body right here. He looks so squished in there already. It's like insane. I just cannot believe he's gotten so big. I don't know. I'm just over the moon excited. I still cannot believe that we are having another child. Like, it's so crazy to me. Let's see what else, guys. What else do I need to update you guys on? I think that's it. So yeah, so I was in the hospital for a little bit over 24 hours. My bleeding didn't stop right away, but it did stop after a few hours. It definitely decreased. So that was great to just see it decrease and not get worse. What else? Yeah, so okay. So one thing that they told me was there's like a 3-strike rule with the placenta bleeding here, the way that they do it here in the Salem Hospital and all the specialists that I'm dealing with. So first time around, you just have to go 24 hours without bleeding and then you get to go home. Second bleed, you're kept there for a minimum of 48 hours because it's when they usually give you the steroid shots to mature your baby's lungs. So that would be a little bit of a longer stay. Third bleed, you're admitted and you are not going home until your baby is delivered. So it does not matter if you are 26 weeks, you will be there until the baby just can no longer stay in there. So fingers crossed that I don't even have a third bleed, and if I do, it's much later down the road. I just want to keep this baby in as long as possible. I'm hoping that I don't have to stay in the hospital for a very long period of time, just because, you know, I think of my kids. I have 2 girls, and it just would be very hard on all of us. I'm so grateful that I have, like, my mom here. I have my brother. I have you know, some other family and friends that are, you know, very willing to help out. But it's just, you know, it's hard. It's really hard. I'm always here with my kids. You know, they're gonna be starting school soon, and I just like really don't want to miss that. But I know that if I were to have to stay in the hospital, it's for the best, to keep me safe and to keep my baby safe. And you know, that is obviously priority because I want to make sure that I'm like around, you know, for my kids. But like I said, being optimistic and being positive is what I am doing. So I have to remain that way, and I just want to say thank you to like every single one of you guys that is, you know, wishing me well thoughts and sending your prayers my way, and just, I don't know, just wishing me the best. It means so much. It does not go unnoticed. It honestly means everything. I'm so grateful for everybody that like, you know, has cared and takes the time to like just really send your good vibes our way. It means so much. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the update that I have for you guys. Happy to be home, that's for sure. I do not take that for granted whatsoever. And yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave this little update. It was probably super long, but that's what we're gonna leave it. I will try and vlog, like I said, when I go to Portland and see how that goes, being that that's kind of a big deal appointment. And then I will update you guys following my other 2 appointments, just to let you guys know how things are going. Thank you guys for joining me on the journey, and I will see you guys next time.